Well, hello there. Welcome back to the art room. I'm really glad you could make it today. Today in the art room, we've got another great Crayola Air-Dry project for you. Spring's here. That means it's time for frogs. They're everywhere, on the land, in the trees, especially in ponds. We'll take you step by step as
Well, this looks like the place. Mr. Shay's art room. Think I'll just pop in for a little visit.
we... Oops. Wait a minute, there's somebody at the door. I can't believe it. Kermit the Frog?
Hi, I'm Kermit. I'm a frog.
Yeah, I know who you are.
Oh, okay.
Hey, come on into the art room.
Gee whiz. Thanks, Mr. Shay.
Hey, so Kermit, now that you're here, do you have any suggestions for our project?
Well, they should be green.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
And of course, they should be sitting on a comfy rock.
Got it?
And they should be doing something interesting, like maybe reading a book.
Sure. Yeah. How about if we do something like this? You like it?
Okay, so let's get back to the art room so we can begin our frog sculptures.
Okay, welcome back to the art room for our frog building session, our lesson, with this wonderful Crayola clay that we've been using in all these different projects. Make sure you check out some of our other videos about different things we've been doing. And as usual, I get carried away and I just built like a whole family of these frogs. So here's how I did it with our air-dry clay. There's other brands too, by the way. So I've got some water, my clay, of course, a couple little clay tools that I can engrave with. Paper towels are always welcome. And so let's just get into it. I'm going to dig out a nice piece here of our clay. And wonderful stuff. By the way, if you feel like you want to break up your old clay projects, you can re-soak them and make this clay kind of come back to life again. And I've done that quite a few times. Even though it's very hardy and it lasts a long time when you let it dry. So here we go. I'm going to make a body, kind of a little potato-shaped body that I'm rolling around, little frog-shaped fella. And keep your hands kind of wet as you do this. And that's going to be his body. No big deal there. Let's pinch off another piece. And the same kind of shape, maybe a little bit more oblong, a little longer piece. This is going to be his head here. So there I am delicately forming that. Rub a little water when you hook two new pieces together and kind of grind it into position like that. And then, of course, it always doesn't hurt if you take your clay tool and join them together so nothing falls apart when it goes air dry. And a little water to make sure everything's hooking together nicely. Yeah, okay. So next, let's think about the frog's eyes, and that's kind of the focal point of a frog, you know, those big buggy eyes they've got. So I'm going to roll up a couple little pea-shaped, pea-sized bits for my eyes, and a little water there before I attach those. Grinding them into position is always a good idea so they stick. Okay, hey, he's looking kind of froggy already, don't you think? Yeah, he is. Ah, good. Okay, well, let's start thinking about what we're going to do about legs. And, you know, I had a couple of these handy stones laying around from the backyard. Actually, I think we got them when we went on vacation up to the lake once. There's a lot of rocks laying around. Or a little piece of wood would be okay. Or if you don't want to set him on anything, just set him on the table. But I've chosen to go with a rock here to set mine on. And so what I've done is create two little leg shapes here. And I'm going to take another little bit of clay here and kind of flatten it out and use the side of my hand here as kind of a little rolling pin and cut off a kind of a square shape. And after I've done that, let's get a little better focus here. Is that good? No, it's still not quite. Oh, come on. Okay, better. And let's hook on some little flippers to our legs. And just smushing those together. A little water on my fingertip. Leg number 1, and let's hook on leg number 2. Okay, kind of bring that into shape. Flip it over and rub things together. So it's really frustrating when your clay project falls apart because you haven't rubbed them together and used a little bit of water. So now let's get our frog here, and I'm going to attach his leg at the hip there. It kind of looks weird for a minute, but you'll see when we bend down and form his knee here in a minute. Okay, there he is. He's a great little guy. He's got a kind of a crouched position. And we'll stick the other, stick the other leg on like that. Joining it all together too as I go. So now he's very posable. So let's give him, he's kind of sitting in a cross-legged position. Looks great. Okay. And we'll kind of tighten that up there a little bit. Wonderful. And we can make little changes down the way too. I make lots of changes here. So there's my rock. So what I'm going to do is kind of form him to the shape of the rock so that when I glue him on the rock after he dries, it'll stick really well. It'll all be the same contour when I'm sitting my frog back up on his rock there. So next, let's divide some of that little bit off of there so that he looks a little more like a frog foot should. Pick a little bit out of that. And don't worry about getting clay on your rock because we're going to wash the rock in between anyway, so we can get it nice and clean and get all the clay off of it later on. And just polishing everything up here and making sure that the feet are going to stay on. Okay, let me take my little carving tool and I'm going to see if I can pick out some toe shapes there. I don't know how many toes frogs have. I should have looked that up probably. Mine are going to have 3 toes. Okay. All right. I'm liking them. I hope yours is going okay. And we sure are going fast like we always do, but hope we're keeping it interesting for you. So now it's time for some arms, and we'll go ahead and roll out just as we did the legs, trying to get a nice kind of even, skinny frog arm here. And I'm going to cut that in 2 with my little knife. Okay, so this time instead of, take that little end off of there like that. This time I'm going to do my hands a little bit different. What I'm going to do is point the end of his arm, as kind of like a mitten, and then with another little piece of clay, I'm going to make a little thumb. And that little thumb is going to kind of identify it as, a hand there. And then even though we will split the fingers with our knife later. So there's hand number 1, arm and hand. And let's do another one. Doing it the same way. Okay. All right, so we've got 2 arms ready to go. Let's come over to our little frog here and see what we want to do. I've had a lot of different ideas. I was going to have him holding a fishing rod at one point. Then another time I was going to have him be like a sports frog, or I'm not sure. And then I wanted to have a longer arm here so I could pose him and maybe bring the arm up like he was thinking or worried, or kind of in a pensive sort of that's kind of neat. I don't know, but it doesn't really work. It's too long to be hanging down that far. That's a little bit too long of a frog arm, so I think I'm going to take that off again. Always changing my mind when I'm doing these things. Let's shorten that arm up. And let's go back to my original idea. I think I'm going to have him holding a book, as we showed you at the beginning. So I've got one arm ready to receive the book. And I'm gonna get a little paper towel and prop him up there so you can see him. And whoop! Oh, I lost my lost my thumb. Oh, that's okay. So let's make a new thumb here and shortening that arm up too, as we did the first one. It's always a process of kind of give and take and see what works and what doesn't. That's the fun part of clay. Hey, that's the fun part of art, don't you think, really? So we've got a nice little arm for him, but before we hook that on, I think I'm going to make a book here. So into the clay thing I go here. I'm going to get another chunk of clay. Let's pull back on that a little bit, and I'm going to roll out a little square here. I think I'm going to chop kind of a book shape after I flatten it out here on my paper. And let's just cut like a cookie cutter book. Okay, that's a little too big. I think I'll chop that down a little bit. I think it's still a little too big. Let's chop that down a little bit more and clean up that edge. Okay, I think that's going to work. And so here's our little book that the frogs are eating. Let's cut a little bit more off. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and I'm going to bend it as as a book would be, and kind of pinch it together so we get this like little open book kind of a thing here. And let's see if we can figure out a way to give our frog a book here. So what I'll do is stick his arm on here. Okay. And kind of get it ready to receive our book. So yeah, let's stick it in there. I don't want to cover up his face, but if we pose that hand and thumb, okay, yeah, I'm starting to see that our frog really looks like he's sitting there reading. He's a studious little guy. So let's take this view for a minute. I wanted to show you something, even though my hands get in the way here on this shot for a little bit. Sorry about that. But I wanted to show you what he looks like from kind of a different angle. And here I am making some marks on his book pages with my little carving tool. And then I'm going to slice that mitten shape that we did. Sorry you can't see that part. No rewards for photography on this one, Mr. Shay. And then on the other one, I'm going to do the same thing. And let's pull back here, and you can see that I've divided those mitten shapes into fingers. And let's go ahead and we'll use my marker end to make some eye sockets. All that. Now he looks so super froggy, doesn't he? So we'll get a little mouth going in here with my little carving tool. And nothing's better than a pencil to carve with. Art pencil's great. I use them for everything. And just kind of open up that mouth a bit and give him kind of a cute little smile. All right, let's stick with that. And I think I'll make some little round shapes that I'm going to put in his eyes here, and just shove those in. Oh yeah, and that's kind of the finishing touch. That'll help a lot when we paint after he dries here in a little bit. Oh yeah, okay. Just going over everything, making sure it's attached. And let's make sure that arm's not going anywhere. We'll kind of smush the big eye shapes into the other bits of clay. Yep. And let's kind of make it look like the book is a little more folded, so that's why I put that mark in there with my my little clay tool. Hey, and there he is. Really liking it. Let me just open up that mouth a little bit more then. Okay. He's just got a great smile, doesn't he? All right. Okay, so I let the frog dry for 2 days, and I wanted to show you that, in my case at least, I lost his little foot, and not to worry about it if it happens to you. So in between that time, I took my rock over to the sink and I got it all nice and clean. To ready to set my frog on top. And if you ever get a chance to get tacky glue, it's the world's greatest glue for something like this. Elmer's glue's okay at second place. You can use that too if you don't have tacky glue. So I'm trying to find that spot. Whoops, trying to find that spot on the rock where I formed him to begin with, and very gently sticking him back on his rock and balancing him. And then I get my little piece that I broke off. But hey, not to worry. Frogs are resilient little guys. So let's put his foot back on with some tacky glue, and then I'm going to take a little bit of extra glue and try to kind of shove it into the broken spot there. And I bet you won't even notice when we're done. So just wanted to share that part with you in case that happens to you. It happened to me too. So after I spread the glue down, then I'm going to take my brush and get rid of some of the extra that's sort of oozed out around the frog. So he's looking good. I let him dry up a couple of hours, and we're ready to paint. So I've got my painter's palette and some of this nice green here, kind of a froggy green. I love that. And I'm going to use some yellow in my other little container in pink, and some black. I think that's going to be great for his eyes here in a little bit, and some white. I'll show you what I do with that. So, and a nice selection of brushes. They're going to be kind of thin brushes, and of course water, and paper towels are always good to have around. We artists need paper towels. We always have dirty fingers. So I'm going to prop my frog up here so you can see what I'm doing. So away we go. I'm going to start off with my light green here. I'm going to really fly this. I'm going really 8 times faster, but I wanted you to see the painting process. Kind of funny, this particular green that I ended up getting ended up needing 3 coats, so it kept me busy, but it was fun. So I'm making the frog green, a little bit different green than his mates back there. You'll see that in a minute. And yellow for his book. Green and yellow just look great together, don't they, for a frog? And I decided to go with yellow eyes this time, and same pink mouth that we had on our other ones. Another second coat for the frog. Just working my way around him. He's starting to look green. He sure is. And then I'm going to get into this turquoise blue here for the big parts of his eyes. Oh, I love that. And I decided to put some frog marks on his back. That was fun. I just thought of that kind of right on the spur of the moment. Black centers in his eyes, and the white book pages, I kind of renewed those. And then let's put a little white highlight on his eye, and wow, he's really looking great. I'm going to wipe off some of the paint that I spilled. So with my spray varnish, I'm going to shine him up, and he is ready for his big debut. And let's bring out some of the other frogs that we had too. Kind of a curtain call. There's that was the first frog that I made in the series, and then all of these other little characters. The one little guy, he kind of looks like he's singing, or I don't know what maybe he's a salesman. I'm not sure what he's up to. And then this other guy, I think he's probably my favorite, that little happy fellow. And then we kind of got a baby mixed in there too. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for coming on this journey with me. And remember, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, you got something to be proud of. You're an artist, so stick with it. We'll see you back here next time in Mr. Shay's Art Room.